Hey guys, how are you? Happy Friday. Happy Friday of a 3-day weekend. 3-day weekend this weekend. So that's nice. Nice little perk. Coming on today just to discuss a couple of things and just show a few things I got in the mail the last few days. First and foremost, I was just thinking about this a lot lately, and it's about the expenditures of supplies, right? We need. I don't like to use the word need when I talk about the hobby and collecting, and nothing's really a need, right? We want, we would like to have, right? But it's not a need per se. But we do collect, or if you do collect or who whatever, I'm speaking for myself. Is I want to do a few things with my collection, right? I want to protect my collection, so we buy supplies to protect our collection. We buy supplies to showcase our collection, and we buy supplies to store our collections, right? And it's an expensive part of maintaining a collection. You have to take care of it. Like my grandfather said, if you take care of something, it'll take care of you, right? So we want to take care of what we're putting our hard earned dollars into, right? And of course, over the last 40 years with collecting, it's gone from collecting cards and throwing them in a shoebox and rubber bands to plastic and everything top loaded and protected and hermetically sealed and this and that and the other thing to preserve these artifacts, right? They're kind of like artifacts. So yeah, I was just been thinking about that lately a little bit more because I'm trying to really rethink how I store my collection and how I display my collection, because soon in the next couple of months it's probably going to happen is my son's move, or he's definitely moving out, but the plan is to take his room and make it a card room, and for that to happen I got to do some organizing and kind of consolidating and just getting it all organized. Not that it's not. I'm a fairly organized collector. I pretty much know where everything is 90% of the time. And I pretty much know what I have 90% of the time. There's a few times I might buy a double here or there, but I usually know what I have. But that's not neither here nor there. So I was just thinking today about, buying supplies, because I do have to buy some now. Um, and I had been over the last month or two buying more because I really like some of the stuff that's on the market. I'm really into those Mag Pros, and I think they look just absolutely gorgeous. They make cards look so amazing, and I've been doing the labels, getting different labels made. I'm having a custom label made done now of a generic label for my holders. That's gonna, just my Hitman 23 collection. Thankfully, thank you. Highly inspired by John Mangini. I by no means am copycatting, but I will say that imitation is a very good form of flattery. So I saw what John did, and I said I really liked how he did it, and I designed my own very simple label, and I'm having a label made, and you'll see them when they come. All right, and I did thank John for that actually, because he did inspire me to do that, and it's just makes I just love the way they make the cards look. And I've also been looking at my collection and all the binders I have, and I'm like, I cannot keep putting cards in binders. I am not stopping my binders. I'm going to still do binders and certain things, but certain player PCs, I can't. I'm starting to pull players out of binders because maybe they're not worthy. And when I say worthy, how I put players in my binders, you know, up until now, most of the time is I kind of do by their career. If they're having really good careers, and I'll put them in the binder. Are they binder worthy? Right. Every card is binder worthy, no matter what card it is. Like if you deem it worthy for a binder, then it's worthy. But I had my own little way of doing things when I had a much smaller collection, and now it's really expanding. I cannot keep buying binders, and filling binders. First of all, because it just takes up way too much space, and second of all, sometimes it's easy to get and look at, but as I've been thumbing through some of my binders lately, I've not loved how some of the cards look in there. I'm just like, they could look so much better if they were, in one touches or mag pros or what have you, right? And man, I tell you, when you put a card in a mag pro or a one touch or whatever, it just dolls it up and like brings it to another level. It just looks that much better. And again, I think that's a big piece of what people getting their cards graded. There are people who out there just want to slab their cards because they look good in the slabs, and they do. They look great in the slabs. They look awesome. But again, that money, that hobby dollar money that I'm spending, I'm not looking to send my own cards off and get them graded because I don't really want to incur that fee on top of the cards I buy. I'd rather buy the cards. I'd rather have the cards. So I choose to buy mostly raw. Yes, I do have some slabs, and I'll show you a slab right now. Right there, I got my 1975 Topps Oliver in the mail this week for my player run, and I am by no means am I a no to saying that, oh, I will never do that in the hobby. I will not collect this, or I won't collect this, or I'm not going to do that. I collect a little bit of everything, all right? I'm not a huge grader. In fact, like I said, I don't send any of my cards in for grading. I will buy the graded cards already. I will let someone else take the risk, and I'll buy it after it's graded. But by no means is my collection going to be 100% graded. It's not. It's a very small part of my entire collection. I do it because it's fun. That's the first and foremost for me. It's fun to complete a player run or complete a set registry. It's very addicting and it's fun. But I do it to a limit. The next thing is going back to the binders is, like I said before, purchasing binders and purchasing pages and doing all that stuff. It gets very expensive after a while, and so does this other stuff. So does buying mags and pro molds and all that stuff. But for me, the payoff is how it looks, and I just feel that the way it looks as I'm growing and evolving in my collecting, I'm just appreciating it much more how it looks in a holder than I do in a binder. I'm still a binder guy, guys. I will always be a binder guy. I like to build sets. I like to do everything. I have my hands in every little part that I can in the hobby. That's why I don't have like the best Don Mattingly collection in the world, because I spread myself out to do other things, right? Speaking of Don Mattingly, I picked up this cool piece in the mail. Somebody was selling these on Facebook, and it's these little helmet decals that were sold back when Mattingly had his restaurant back in the late 90s, early 2000s. Mattingly's 23. So I got this, he called it a helmet decal. And it was like $4 and he shipped it to me and I got that. So that's a really cool, interesting piece you don't really see too much. And you can see it says 1985 AL MVP, the Hitman, Mattingly's 23. That was his restaurant that he had in Indiana. And I try to pick stuff up based on that restaurant. I have like a business card. I have the Coca-Cola cards that they came out for his restaurant. So anytime I can pick up an item from Mattingly's 23, I will certainly do that. So yeah, card savers, right? We have card savers to keep all this stuff in. So where I was going with my binders is I'm really trying to kind of refocus how I'm doing things, because I'm really excited to think about how I can, how I'm going to build my room, and how I'm going to display cards and display the other things I have in my collection, because I have, other things, memorabilia, bobbleheads, books, a lot of stuff. And I really like to diversify and keep it looking eclectic. I'm an eclectic type mind person, and that's what I like. So that was really kind of it in terms of supplies and the importance of supplies and the percentage of the hobby dollars it takes to maintain your collection. Because now, obviously with the way the economy has been the last couple of years, money has to be spent elsewhere. More money has to be spent elsewhere, and less money can be spent on the collection. So this is going to segue into this next little piece I'm going to show you. And it's also a great point that I heard today. Ray from Philly did a show with Adam from the Vintage Sanctuary, and they were talking about, eye appeal and the whole 9 yards. And as I've gotten older, I've really come to appreciate eye appeal and how much it matters. Because when I was younger and buying cards, they always had to be like perfectly mint, right? They had to be like pack fresh. And obviously cards from the 50s and the 60s and the 40s and pre-war, they're not going to be like that. And that's fine, actually. That's better, because they're they're the real thing, right? So this card, it's not a crazy card. It's not a super expensive card. But raw, I've seen them going anywhere from like $15 to $20. And the condition that I was seeing them in, I was like, not bad. It didn't look bad. But like Adam said today, he didn't want to keep a card in one of his cards. I don't know if it was a Hank Aaron rookie, but it was a big card he had, and he didn't like the way it looked. He didn't like looking at it. It just didn't do it for him. So he wound up selling it and getting something else. And correct me if I'm wrong, if you do watch this, Adam, if it was a Hank Aaron rookie card. But you were talking about cards and that it has to look good to you, right? So in that instance, I picked up this beautiful card. It's raw. It's the 1953 Luke Easter, okay? And that card just looks amazing, right? Here's a caveat. It was under $10 shipped because there was something wrong with the card, right? The back has a little paper loss on it, right? So it has some paper loss here and here, you can see, right? It was obviously glued into a book because I can see some glue residue. And, obviously when you're looking at cards on eBay, your eyes can deceive you sometimes. You got to be really careful. And I figured it was under $10. I think the front of the card looked amazing. And in all honesty, the reason I bought the card was for the front. I didn't buy the card for the back. I like the back. I can still read everything. I can still read all the information. But it's the front of the card that just looked amazing. And if you have that on display, nobody's going to, if it's up on display somewhere and I'm just going to pick up, well, the back, for me at least, I don't care. I don't care about the back of the cards. So I picked up that card for less than $10. I threw it in this pro mold, and it looks absolutely stunning. The color on the front, the corners are really nice. A little ding up here on this right corner up top. But the color is beautiful. It's actually got some gloss on it, which I've really never seen a 53 Topps card with gloss on it. So it was well preserved, glued into some book sometime, and I got it for a great price. So again, cuts into that whole, I'd rather pay, $8 I paid for this card that looks absolutely beautiful, because I have to buy other things to help maintain my collection. So I'll take those decisions or make those decisions and pull money from that, and maybe not get a card that is going to gem out, right? Card not going to gem out, and I really, really don't care because I love this card. And working on Luke Easter little run. It's 8 cards, 4 Topps, 4 Bowman, and there's some other things that I'm looking into. I know he's got a dandy potato chip card, which is nice. So, but that's it, guys. That's really, my little spiel, my little sermon on the mount about that type of stuff. 2 other cards I'll show you real quick. A couple more slabs. I got the 1985 Al Oliver for the for the run there. So I got his 75 and his 85. Bingo. And I'm almost done with the 75 All-Stars. Now I started dabbling in the 76 All-Stars. I picked up this really nice Joe Rudy, and I love those 70s poses. That's what I like about, in the 70s. They took these like kind of candid photos of the players and, just standing there. He's, looks like he's probably has some tobacco in his cheek, and he's just probably shooting a breeze at batting practice. You don't really see cards like that anymore. of course, I'm doing it because of the All-Star Star. And just a great, again, 76 Tops is a great set. And again, it's just fun putting them together and completing something, having a goal. So that's really all I have. I blabbered on for 15 minutes. I hope what I said makes sense. And I hope that, maybe makes you think a little bit or whatever. If you have any, comments, definitely let me know. But that's really all, guys. I'm going to go enjoy my Friday night, and I will catch you guys at the next video. And may the cardboard God shine down upon each and every one of you. I'll see you next time, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.